Listen. Now all of you pen down, wrote what is the inner image you are having, outer image you are having, others image you are having, and life image you are having. How many of you found out there is such big gap between the inner image and outer image? How you are thinking about you and how you are projecting you? Raise your hand, let me listen. Great. Second, the same way, how many of you found out what others think about you, the others' image, and what you think about others? There is a big gap between these two. How many of you found out that? Please raise your hand, let me listen. Okay, listen. Becoming powerless because of this gap between images is something seriously wrong. Listen. Incompletion means the gap between the images. I'll describe now. Please drop your paper and pen. Listen. I'm introducing two more new words. Incompletion, completion. Listen. Your past thoughts, emotions, residues, hangovers, sitting in your present and suffocating you, not letting your future, is incompletion. Listen. Your past thoughts, emotions, patterns, hangovers, residues, sitting in the present and stopping you, not letting you live your future, suffocating you, is incompletion. You can see in your life the gap between your inner image and outer image becomes incompletion. Means inside you believe you as something and outside you project you as something else. That becomes an incompletion. You can see clearly in your life how you try to project you is one, but how others perceive you is something else. That gap becomes another one incompletion. And how others expect you and how you expect others, this gap becomes another one incompletion. Listen. This is a very important lesson. I wanted you to be completely attentive. Please listen. Please attend here. Listen. Please listen. Your inner image and outer image Listen. Inner image, how you feel about you inside you. Outer image, how you project you outside you. The gap between these two becomes self-doubt. Listen. Listen. I am talking about some of the important incompletions you carry. Important incompletions you carry. Listen here. When you go out and convince others about you, which you yourself don't believe as you. For example, inside you, you feel you are frightened person. But you are able to go out and convince everyone you are a brave, bold, courageous person. Once they are convinced, when you come back to your life, means your bedroom, your room, alonely, your aloneness, when you look back, there is a deep self-doubt starts. I convinced everyone I am brave, bold, but I am not that, then what am I? Understand? When you convince everyone about you, but you are not convinced inside you, that gap is self-doubt. How many of you understood? Raise your hand. How many of you understood self-doubt? Raise your hand. Can you all take few minutes now, pen down few self-doubts you have about you. Listen. The qualities, ideas which you convinced others about you, but you are not convinced, is self-doubt. Take few minutes, pen down the self-doubts you have. Yes. Now, please understand the next step. Can I have all your listening? If you are listening, please wave your hands. Listen. The outer image means how you are projecting you to the world. The other's image, how the world perceives you. For example, you are trying to show yourself as very kind person, but others are all feeling you are very arrogant. The gap between what you want to project and what others perceive, this gap is self-hatred. Listen. When you are trying to project you in some way, but others are not perceiving like that, you start hating you. You start blaming you. You start feeling you are not enough. You are not sufficient. You are not accepted. You are not complete. That is what I call self-hatred. Listen. How you project you and how others perceive you, the gap between these two is self-hatred. How many of you understand self-hatred? You feeling you are not complete, you are not enough, you lack something. That is self-hatred. Third, the others image means what others expect you and what you expect from others. The gap between these two is self-denial. For example, I'll give you an example. Everyone is expecting from you, you should become loving, compassionate. You go on expecting from everyone, life should be compassionate, loving, just. There is a vast gap. Neither you are ready to understand, you need to change you to be more loving, nor you are ready to forgive the world. So you expect the world to be loving and kind, but you think you are already loving and kind. The world thinks you need to be more loving and kind. They are already loving and kind to you. That extreme gap, opposite, this gap is self-denial. Please listen. What others expect from you and what you expect from others. What others expect from you, others' image. What you expect from others, life image. The gap between these two is self-denial. Please understand. First time in Nitya Dhyan Yoga program I am revealing this whole genesis of identity. You need to put your whole listening to internalize this. Many times, if world is expecting you to be more loving, compassionate, kind, you say, no, world is only not loving, compassionate. I am okay, it is world needs to change. When you are so thoroughly convinced the change has to happen in the world, not in you, that is what I call self-denial. The world only should take responsibility, not you. That is what I call self-denial. Listen. How many of you understand the self-denial? Raise your hand. So, just this 7 words can, understanding of these 7 words can change your whole life. Inner image, how you see you. Outer image, how you project you to others. The gap between these two becomes self-doubt. Outer image, how you project you to the world. Others' image, how the world perceives you. The gap becomes self-hatred. Listen. When you are not able to convince others the way you project you, you start feeling you are not enough, you are not sufficient, you are not good enough. That is what is self-hatred. When what world wants from you and you want from the world is completely in the different extreme, diametrically opposite, and you go on blaming the world, you go on denying the world, saying world has to change, world has to change, world has to change, Others have to change. Life have to change. All of them have to understand about me. They don't understand me. And world goes on, tells you, you have to change, you have to change. You don't understand the world, you don't understand the life. This tug of war is self-denial. Self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. SDHD is source of all incompletions. So the gap between these four images is the source of all incompletions. How many of you understand? All your incompletions are just the gap between these four. Now, can we spend few minutes to pen down your self-hatred patterns and self-denial patterns? Please pen down few minutes your self-hatred patterns and self-denial patterns. Listen. Can we move to the next step? If we can move, can you wave your hands? Listen. Please listen. Now I am helping you to find out when you started building your inner image. When you started building your outer image, when you started building your life image, when others have started building their image about you, others have started building their image about you even before your birth. Seeing your father and mother, they started building their image about you. Forget about them. Now it is all about your inner image when you started building, your outer image when you started building, your life image means your image about life and others when you started building. Listen, please listen. First time in your life when you feel powerless, inadequate, not able to handle the life as you are, survival crisis, that is the time you start building this image for survival purpose. Listen. For example, at the age of 3 or 4, I am giving you an example. You are jumping in the rain, dancing. Your mother comes and just slaps you and drags you into the house and locks you there and fires you. If you are jumping in the rain, you will catch cold. Do you know what will happen to you? The rain may not have been such big. Rain will never be a problem for you. But your mother dragging you and pushing you into the room and locking you, that shakes your whole being. That shakes your whole being. Listen. That shakes your whole being. When you are facing that crisis, that survival threat, For a child, even mother dragging will be a survival threat. Now you may think, no, 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 after all mother, what is there? No. As a child, when your mother drags you, it will be like a survival threat only. At that moment, what you felt about you as you, powerless, victim. And what you felt about others, means your mother, others and life, your mother, cruel, unjust, and how you decided to show you to the world, to others, to your mother, by trying to put up a strong face. No, leave me, I want to go and play only there. Don't touch me. You scream. That is what is the first outer image you build. Listen, when you want to protect yourself from the life, defend yourself from the life, the alternative compensating identity you create for yourself is outer image. Alternative compensating identity, that is outer image. Now already, how many of you have started remembering some incident in your life when you started building your inner image, outer image and life image? Raise your hand. How many of you already started remembering some incident? Oh, I think from this incident only I started building my image. Great. Can we take few moments? Can we all pen down when we started building our image? When we started building our image, always you build your inner image, outer image before the age of 7. So you have to remember something happened before 7. If you really can't remember, then remember anything after happened after 7 also, it's okay, but as young as possible, as earliest as possible, remember and pen down the earliest inner image you had about you. Pen that down. The earliest outer image you had about you. Pen down that. The earliest others image you had about you. So you had about the world, sorry. The earliest life image. The earliest image you had about life. Please listen. Earliest inner image you had about you. Earliest outer image you showed about you. Earliest life image you had about life. Pen down all these three. And the incident. Pen down all these three and the incident when you start building these three images. Pen down the incident also. Genesis of your identity. Take the earliest memory in your life where you are not okay with what is happening in that situation. This means that you are experiencing an incompletion. Relive the entire situation in detail. If emotions come, let them come. Write down. Write down the statements you made about yourself and the feelings you had about you. Inner image. Usually this takes the form of I am weak or I am mistake prone. Second, write down how you projected yourself to others in that situation. Outer image. You may have projected that you are weak, powerless, angry or brave. This is related to how you act in that situation. Third, write down your view of the other person or the world or life in that situation, life image. Go through situations and incidents from your earliest memory till now. Look at all the identities you have cognized. In each of those situations, identify the dominant pattern that repeats again and again in many of these situations. Please pen down. Yes, if you're finished, listen. Please listen and then raise your hand. How many of you found out the pattern with which you are building incompletion and suffering in your life now? With all this intra-analysis, if you have found out the pattern with which you are creating suffering in your life, please raise your hand. If you have not found out, please raise your hand. If you still have a doubt, confusion, raise your hand. Now even in raising hand there is a doubt and confusion. Come on. Let me ask again. How many of you are clear that the pattern with which you are creating incompletions in your life again and again, you have stumbled upon it? Raise your hand. How many of you have not found out? Raise your hand. For all of you, self-doubt and self-confusion is the pattern. In anything you do, the SDHD, self-doubt and self-confusion will be the pattern. Now, few minutes I will give you. Any other incompletions you have in your life, like all the time you are worried about money, all the time you are worried about health, all the time you are worried about death, all the time you are worried about relationships, any other incompletion, powerlessness you have in your life, pen down that incompletion and the incident from where you developed that incompletion. Pen down both. We will spend a little time on it. Come on. Shall we move to the next step? Listen. Now I am going to initiate all of you into the science of completion. First I bow down to Mahadeva, Nityanandeshwara. The master revealed this science to the world. He is the first yogi, first incarnation, first enlightened master. How many of you are going to hear about completion first time from me directly? Raise your hand. Understand? You are all going to receive the initiation. How many of you already heard it? Second time or already heard about completion? You are all going to receive reinitiation. So please listen. I am reciting the 22nd verse of Shiva Sutras, where Mahadeva talks about, explains about this completion. Look at your past disidentified. Let attention be at a place where you are seeing some past happening, and even your form having lost its present characteristics is transformed. Now I will explain. Listen. Listen authentically. When you want to complete any incompletion, any incident from where the incompletion started building, sit with yourself, close your eyes, relive that incident intensely in your inner space. Don't be afraid. Remembering is different, reliving is different. Remembering means brooding over. Reliving means living it again and again with the decision to complete and drop them, so that the pattern developed from that incident will not have any more influence over you. Listen. Completion means reliving an incident or the pattern developed in you, reliving them and relieving them, so that after this, that incident will not have any more power over you. Now, you would have written some at least 3-4 incidents, minimum, maximum some 10-20, where the incompletion starts happening in you, where the patterns of incompletions got developed in you. Sit straight, close your eyes, I will guide you. Close your eyes. Pick up one incident you are going to complete, one incompletion you are going to complete. Relive them again and again at least 5 times. Allow all the emotions, all the reactions, side effects of reliving. Suddenly you will see that incident does not have any more power over you. It is not making you powerless anymore. The incompletion has dropped. Please tie the ribbon. If you are given the eye band, please sit with the closed eyes and tie the eye band. If you don't have one, it's okay. Just sit with closed eyes. I'll guide you into the process of completion. relive and relieve. Start reliving authentically the first incompletion you want to complete at least 5 times till that incompletion loses power over you. Relive, relive, relive and relieve. Relax. Open your eyes. I wanted you to do the same process using the mirror. See, now what you did, internally reliving and relieving, do it with mirror. Use mirror and do the same completion. Instead of closing the eyes and reliving inside, open your eyes and look at the mirror and relive outside. Thank you. Be blissful.